Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Kamen Saber Decade Sekai Ryokouki Neo Wonder Ride book. So this is the annual and yearly Kamen Rising campaign item of the year. Obviously because this time around, because of the fact that all the Legend Rider books are already getting released, and because essentially to commemorate not the release, but like essentially to commemorate the existence of Geo versus Decade / Decade versus Geo, so I decided to give Decade another Wonder Ride book. Obviously, this one stuff, we shouldn't get into that yet. This is the simple packaging for it, so let's take it out. So here we have the Wonder Ride book out of its packaging. As you can see from here, it's not a DX Wonder Ride book. So here we have the QR code for Kamen Rising. As you can tell from the spine. There you have the cover, Decade Sekai Ryokouki Neo, which basically has the Kamen Rising models of Decade, Geo, and Build. Excuse me, these are clearly pre-rendered models because Geo and Build are more up-to-date than Decade, because Decade's from Kamen Ride. And then we have all of the other Heisei Phase 2 Kamen Ride cards around them and such. And then the transformation page has Decade Complete. And then we got the Ride Booker again, but with the Kamen Ride card for Decade Complete. I don't get why they chose complete form. I get that they don't want to confuse, like they want to make it different, but then I feel like complete form should have been there. Then if you want to look at the differences between the original and the Neo version, like, so they made this a lot more pinker. And I at least do appreciate that they gave it a new, or they kept the same font. Sorry. And then for the transformation pages, I think I can't tell if this is the exact same, but the stories are actually somewhat different. They changed one word. Other than that, this page is practically the same. It's just that they don't have attack, ride, slash. So as you can see from here, it is, because it is a sequel, it's still a story slot. However, we need to use the Gitko Ikazuchi emblem. So here we go. So it has the same exact sounds as Decade, because if you really want to hear it, or you want proof, wow. Isotsumoto. Yummy. Might as well do the transformation. That did not. I guess this is dying. Oh no, that was. That was the Kyomu. Yeah, this did not open, but. This is honestly a really baffling Wonder Ride book. Because it would have been fine if it was a DX Wonder Ride book. I don't get why this is not DX. Like, making this not DX really hurts its reasoning of existing, because there's just no value of why you should get this. The only significance of why they did this Wonder Ride book was because of Geo vs. Decade and Decade vs. Geo. Just without having anything from that. Probably because this was made way before that, which is why most likely this was supposed to be Complete 21. But, like, because other than that, there's not any real reason as to why they did this book. Because if I remember, like, this wasn't even for, like, Gamba Rising / Gamba Ride's anniversary, because they already did that in Geo. So, like, this just comes off as, like, a really random one-off. And you just don't need it, because, like, it does even less than the DX version. Like, if this was DX, that would have been great and actually worth the money, because this just carries over the same issue that the latter the latter Gamba Rising lottery campaigns had, where they kind of just weren't really worth the money to, like, spend on cards. Like, yes, you at least gain a stack of, like, 50 Gamba Rising cards, and, like, if you collect Gamba Rising cards, that's great on you. But then that causes the value of that item to rise up because of how much of the cards you got. I've said this so many times already. I felt like when they started the Gamba Rising campaigns, they were actually worth it because they were DX items. Like Galileo, Proto Tattle Quest, and Camera. No, Ryder card. Those three, like, are alright in their price, but I mean, you justify it because they're DX items. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'll pay $20 for the Ryder card full bottle because I know it's going to be DX. Or like Proto Tattle Quest. You're going to pay at least $30 for that thing. Because it's a Proto Gashat, it's X-Aid, and hey, it's DX. But with this latter half, with the Decade Gekijotai Ride Watch, the Space Kamen 4's Progress Key in this Wonder Ride book, it just doesn't make sense. Especially this one. At least with Geo and Zero One, they had sounds. They weren't DX, but they had sounds. And luckily for those ones have, like, that's the thing. All these have depleted in prices for the most part. But this one, I don't get why they didn't just make DX. You didn't have to do much. You had to do 2 sounds. Just 2 sounds. Heck, a book we're gonna cover 3 videos from now managed to get a DX release. So why didn't this get one? Like, I feel so bad for the people that did not wait and got this for $70. Like, I feel so bad. Like, because you lost. You practically could have used the extra 60 for other, like, gimmicks. Or even, you could have gotten the other Gompa Rising campaign items with that $60. Like, I'm honestly glad they stopped doing the Gompa Rising campaign stuff, because it was kind of getting ridiculous, especially when they started not to really care and just didn't really make the item worth, like, buying. So it's just, for this one to be the last one kind of sucks, because this is genuinely the worst one of the 6. Like, because Galileo, while it doesn't really make sense, it was the first one. And hey, it's DX. But, like, they should have just made this DX. That's what's really hampering this. While this is a really cheap ride book now because of how pointless it is, because you can get this for like $8. Just get it if you want to fill a box out. Or just like just because. Like, I got it just to, complete these books. But, like, I'm glad I got it for the price I got it for. But, like, you don't need it. You don't need this. This is so pointless. And, like, what's worse is that in Gompa Rising, the model they used was of a DX of a DX. What made it look like a DX version? Because that's what they showed to us initially, until Bandai Mania did a video on Wonder Ride books, and we saw this, and, like, the spine wasn't the DX spine. So it's like, why is the in-game model? I get they had to make them consistent, but, like, why didn't they just show the actual product? They're typically really good at that. But now I think about it, I think they have been just showing the Gompa Rising models for those past 6.